Next on this playlist is how do you tell if there's been rodents in an RV? Well, from the obvious smell. But if there is no smell, how do you tell? Well, it's pretty simple. Start looking around, because you'll see where they'd come in. No matter how well these people that own these clean, you will always find them. And there's a few little conspicuous spots that you can look. One of my favorites, because I walked into one. There was this Class A this guy had, and I was like, man, I wanted it. It was badass. It had a Cummings. It was 37, 38 foot. It had two big slide outs. I mean, it was perfect for us. And we drove 5 hours out of our way to go look at this because the price was right and everything. We get there, I get to looking around up in those little vents right there, and I'm like, wait a minute, something just ain't right there, because you can see insulation a little bit. And I started asking questions, so all this and all that, all this, and then the ceiling was kind of sagging a little bit. He said, well, the ceiling just fell down because of this and this and this. I was like, oh, really? So I got up underneath there and looked right in one of the vents. This one here, the way the ducts are, it's a different type of insulation. It's got a trunk line, which is like a box, but it's insulated. It's insulation. It's just made in a box, and it's not metal like the floor is. So I'm just like, and I started talking to him, and about 30 minutes in this conversation, the rat comes out. I'm just like, peace, dude, I'm out. What? I said, man, you should have told me that an hour ago, or even told me when I asked you on Bitch Book. I specifically asked you. You should have told me right then and there. I wouldn't have wasted none of our times, especially not driving 5 hours out of the way to come look at something that I wasn't interested in at all. And yeah, I understand this and that, but you can look and see if you're okay with it or if you're not okay with it. One of the places to look is inside that vent. That way. Because if you notice, I have a duct system, and that is the last point. And in that duct system, let me put my head there. In this duct system right here, it goes that way. It goes about 2 feet. It's designed that way for a reason, to create pressure and some yada yada engineering shit that I didn't care to know. But I looked up in there because wasn't enough air pressure going through. It would come out the AC unit there, but coming through the duct system, it was like the air was just going into the ceiling. And I'm like, what the Sam hell is going on? So I climb up in there with my phone. If you can't do it with your phone, do it whatever. And I shined it down, and lo and behold, a rat was in there. Actually, it was a field mouse. Had ran through the duct system on both sides of the trailer, in the bedroom and in the living room. I'm just like, these motherfuckers. So I took some spray foam and I sealed that spot off, and I did the other one, and I took care of that. Nextly, the number one spot, this is 100% guaranteed. If it ever had rats in it before, they will be in this spot. Why? Because if they can get to it, it is the warmest spot in the trailer all the time. Because your panel is there and your converter is there. So, what you do is you pull that panel out. You pull it out and you look in there. If there had ever been any rats in there at any point in time, you're going to see it there. And that's more leverage. Say, hey, look, man, this is how it is. You can also pull up the one or two of your vents, find out where the heat vent goes, the last one, and go look in there. Because me having to pull the underbelly off of this, I noticed that the idiots that did this, they just ran the tubes for the heat vents, and they didn't put no screens or nothing on them, or nothing to keep the rodents from coming in. I guess that's just in case something gets stuck in there and it blows that way so it doesn't clog it up. I don't know. But that's a piss poor idea, because if you look underneath and just look around at all the holes that the rats can get into the underbelly with, it's crazy. Then you look around the bathrooms too, because they'll find their ways that way. And then, I mean, there's a few other places, but those are the 3 or 4 big main areas that you're going to know. Oh, also you can too. By wherever the hot water heater is, take that false wall off underneath the in the compartment. Pull that false wall out, and you'll see it there too. That way you ain't got to take all the underbelly and all this. Those are the easiest spots you can get to find if the roads have been there, because that's where the warmest is. No matter what time of year, that is the warmest spots. There's that. And that's pretty much it for the rodents. Yeah.